A Bitcoin spot ETF is inevitable. Check out this clip.
When the SEC approved the futures-based ETF, they said, let's look at the futures market. We see the surveillance. We see the protections in that market for the end investor that are sufficient. We don't see them in the spot market, so we're going to make that distinction. I think what the institutions are arguing is that those distinctions have gone away, and now the spot product is actually less drag, more efficient for the investor. So if there's not that delta in regulation, not that delta in what I could say efficacy, the spot should be approved. That's the argument that's going on right now. Regulatory process, whether it doesn't matter.
Been a while already.
It's been a while already. If they're right, that you can demonstrate that the spot market has similar efficacy to the futures market, it would be hard to resist approving a Bitcoin ETF.
What's happening, Crypto Crew? Sean's coming back at you, another cryptocurrency video. We have a jam-packed video from you today. We have an excerpt from Michael Saylor, so you don't want to miss this one. You want to watch it to the end. And the latest from Michael Saylor and what's going on with him, he totes a new massive Bitcoin haul as MicroStrategy now holds $4.6 billion worth of tokens. So this happened about a week or so ago, and what they did, they bought an additional over 12,000 Bitcoins for about $347 million. So you see, Michael Saylor is still pouring money into the crypto space. That brings the company's total holdings to over 152,000 Bitcoin, roughly 4.6 billion at the current price. So with the 2023 rally, it helped MicroStrategy notch its first profitable quarter in over 2 years since they started doing rate hikes towards the end of 2021. So we'll talk about more. We'll get another take from Michael before this video's out. So once again, make sure you watch to the end. We took a look at the macro Bitcoin scale. We talked about this in the previous Raul Paul video. And right now, we're just sort of stair-stepping our way up, and we're going to see more and more upwards momentum as the years come. And Michael Saylor will talk about this in a little bit. But taking a look at the DXY once again, we're going to zoom in on the price action, take a closer look. And what we want to show you is what we see for the DXY in the upcoming years. So if you look at these two levels right here, this was the 2017 bull market. This was the 2021 bull market. Bear, and then the start of a bull. Right now, we're back below that 20 moving average, and we could come back down. So is this going to be the start of the 2023 bull market? And right now, if we have a continuation to the downside and fall all the way down to here, how massive could this rally and run get for Bitcoin? Because if the dollar falls and breaks this upwards resistance, this green line, this is what we want to pay attention to. So if we zoom into the price action once again, and right now we're just sitting on top of support, and it looks like we're going to fall off of a cliff because we just crossed over the 20. So the trend is changing. The trend's your friend to the end. And the next level, if the dollar just continues this trajectory, and say if we just come down and just keep this trajectory by the first half of 2024, and we retest this level, and we fall through this level, the next level is going to be that 200 moving average. We could get stopped up temporarily and then have a continuation to the downside. How massive can this get? How strong can Bitcoin pump against the dollar? Time will definitely tell, but it's looking bullish for Bitcoin and crypto. With that, let's hear from Michael Saylor and see what his take is on the latest on Bitcoin and the markets. Let's hear what he has to say.
Now, the best thing that could happen to Bitcoin is the volatility decreases a bit, but the correlations break down, because if it's an uncorrelated asset and it's a legitimate asset, then most of the financial world is underexposed, right? You've got $500 trillion of liquid financial assets floating around, and 0.1% of that is Bitcoin. So if it gets to be 1%, right, 2%, then it's going up by a factor of 10 or more. Yeah, I think so. I think we'll get the uncorrelated, and how much volatility we get, it's unclear. But as more people adopt it, and as liquidity increases in the mainstream institutional investor market, I think the volatility will decrease. It is decreasing. I mean, the last two investor classes are the technocrats. And this is a set of investors you want. They're the people that think Apple and Google and Amazon and Facebook and Microsoft are really powerful networks. And you can see the big winning stock ideas have been Microsoft, Apple, and Google. And the reason why is because they're more powerful than most nation states. It should be pretty clear to people right now that Apple has 1 billion users, and it would be easier for you to leave the United States of America and pick up your life elsewhere than it would be for you to leave the Apple ecosystem. And it's a very interesting idea, but if you're a tech investor, you could get behind that idea, and eventually just about everybody that got insanely wealthy over the past 20 or 30 years was a technocrat, really, if you think about it. And then eventually you get the Warren Buffetts and you get the Carl Icahns of the world that say, I don't know if I understand it, but it seems like a juggernaut, so I guess I'll buy $10 billion of it. And Warren Buffett made more money on Apple stock than he made in his entire life on everything else you've ever heard of. And he made that money faster. And so the technocrat, kind of wins over the mainstream investor. And Bitcoin is emerging as this dominant digital monetary network or dominant digital commodity network, or you could call it dominant digital property network. The thing that's most controversial is currency. Currency is very controversial. Every nation state wants to control their own currency. Currency is a medium of exchange.
Sometimes other countries want to control the currency of other countries.
And you could say it's a system of control, right? A medium of exchange, a unit of account, a store of value. But the fourth thing, the system of control, turns out to be really, really important. So digital currency networks are very controversial, and there's a lot of uncertainty. But on the other hand, owning property is not controversial. And if Bitcoin is digital gold, then there is no nation of gold with subpoena power that's going to attack you for taking away its monetary premium.